I have been in a relationship with Jane for 6 months. She's smart, funny, kind, sassy, giving, and a little bit annoying. She's also a total knockout and way out of my league, except she doesn't see herself that way. Jane is on the bigger side, and I am more lean. I like to go to the gym and work out, and I'm naturally just very bony, so I do not have a ton of extra fat on my body. I am 6'1", so tall, but not like a giant. Overall, I would say I'm average, but Jane tells me I'm the hottest guy to ever look at her, and I love that she sees me that way. What I don't like is how she sees herself. Like I said, she is on the bigger side, and she especially hates her apron belly, as she calls it. When we first started seeing each other, she would only give me head and not even let me touch her. I didn't push the issue because I didn't want to be a creep and force her into something. But one day, I finally asked her why she didn't let me return the favor, and she responded genuinely with, "I just didn't think you would want to do that to me." I finally got her to understand that I was dying to make her feel good too, and we started a more active and reciprocated intimacy life. I won't be gross, but I will just say, wow, truly the best I've ever had, and I love every inch of this girl's body. She is perfection. The only thing now is she still keeps her shirt on during intimacy, and we have to keep the lights off every time. I want to see all of her so damn bad, but I don't want to make her uncomfortable. I truly believe she does this because she's afraid I won't like what I see, but that is so far from a possibility. Her perfect face, lips, eyes, hair, legs, shoulders, knees, and toes are great, and I will gladly take anything she's willing to give me. But if I can have a preference, I want it all. I just want her to feel as beautiful and desired as she is. I'm worried asking for this will have the opposite effect, like she's not doing enough for me already. Would I be the jerk if I push this issue further? Edit. Thank you to everyone who has submitted helpful advice and just overall kind words. Most of you fall under this category, but to the few that don't, kindly go F yourself. I didn't post here to get your fat-phobic opinions on my girl's body. I posted here to get advice on how to make her more comfortable being totally bare with me, which I do feel like I got. I still have not spoken to her, but I have ordered some red lights, sexy teddies, and tops that are easy to pull the top down, as a few of you suggested. I'm also so stocked up with candles, the fire department may have me on a watch list. I'm gonna just give my girl the lingerie because it made me think of her. And if she wants to wear it, great. If not, also great. I got a beautiful girl, who I love, sleeping in my bed every night, so life will be good either way. Now for some comments. One commenter said, I've been in a relationship where she never wanted to take off her shirt during intimacy as well because she was self-conscious. Don't push the issue. Let her know how you feel about her completely, and let her slowly work up to it. Just be as supportive as possible. Show her how much you care about her, and let her build the confidence she needs to discover in herself. I replied, I can definitely do that. Thank you. She's fairly confident, but she has opened up to me about being insecure growing up as a bigger girl and how boys never really looked at her like they looked at her friends. I'm also her first boyfriend. I suspect the past self-esteem issues and lack of relationship experience make her more self-conscious in the bedroom. Another commenter suggested, also, maybe don't start with a big light on. Candlelight or fairy lights are much softer, romantic, and might make her more comfortable. Another way to slowly build up to it might be being naked under some covers. That way she's not completely in eyesight. Try to find a middle ground and build up from there. Of course, always on the assumption she's comfortable with it. Someone else added, yes, soft lights, and you could ask her to wear a smaller shirt too, like a lacy cami or nightie. You could get her something, a floaty sexy nightie. Key, get the cami nightie in 3 sizes so she can try them on, and get them in advance. Something like, hey, I bought these, I couldn't resist thinking about you framed in one of them. Can I leave them here for you? Would you consider wearing them? Then she can try them on her own, and maybe next time she'll be wearing something silky. I sympathize with her a lot. I have many of my own hang-ups, and my boyfriend works out every day. He would always ask for the lights on, and I would put the lamp in the furthest corner. We're more comfortable now, but give her time. I would also suggest trying to reframe a little for her. You can't do anything on her behalf, but on your end, sprinkling in, I love your curves, or just gently holding her belly from behind for a while, if she likes it, and giving her little kisses on her belly, over her clothes, from time to time, gauging her comfort at the same time, might build your wordless support for her. It's brutal out there for women's bodies. It will be a while. In any case, you sound like a lovely person, and I wish the very best for the both of you and your relationship. Not the idiot, and good luck. Another commenter said, I don't have any advice, but I just wanted to say it's so lovely how you speak of her. Could you maybe just show her this post? It should outline pretty clearly how drop-dead gorgeous you think she is. I replied, thank you. I may show her this post eventually, but I don't know if I should until she's more comfortable in her body, since I've been pretty direct with what I would like here and don't want her to feel pressured. Now for the 6-week update. Quite a few people have messaged me asking for an update. I really didn't expect to make one, as I was going to just take all the helpful advice I got and go about my business, but my plan was foiled. A lot of you suggested I not show Jane my original post because it might make her even more insecure. I never want to hurt my girl, so I wasn't going to show it to her, at least not right away. And I figured she'd never see it on her own since she doesn't even have a Reddit account. However, I forgot about Reddit podcasts and people who like to read these stories online for everyone to hear. Apparently, she listens to one while she works, and they happened to read a story that sounded just a little too close to her own life. She texted me a screenshot of the story after finding it online and asked if it was me. I obviously said yes and asked if we could talk that evening. She agreed, and I was bricking it for the rest of the day. Some of you guys really had me convinced she was going to break up with me for telling our business online. Thankfully, that is not at all what happened. When she got to my apartment, she gave me a big hug and a wonderful kiss before even saying anything, and I immediately felt my stomach settle. We sat down on the couch, and I guess she could tell by my face how nervous I was because she spoke first and told me she wasn't mad. She thought all the comments saying she may break up with me for writing about her private life were over the top. I breathed a sigh of relief and asked her what she thought about what I said in the post. She said it made her feel wonderful that I thought of her that way, and she didn't think anyone would ever desire her body that much. I let her know everything I said was 100% true, and I really, really, really do desire her, but I understand her boundaries, and she doesn't have to push herself on my behalf. We had a long conversation about body image and intimacy that I won't go into detail about, but it was such a productive conversation, and I'm so glad we had it. I feel like I understand her so much deeper, and vice versa. At the end of our conversation, she did get kind of a sheepish look and asked if I actually bought all of the things I mentioned in the edit of my original post. I told her yes, I did, and went and fetched the bag of candles and lingerie I had been storing in my closet. I also told her I installed red lights in my room as suggested. She said we should try a few of the new things out, and I didn't hesitate to say yes, please. It was the best night of my entire life, and I'm not even kidding. Not just because of the physical portion of the night, which, wow, but also because I think I was able to make my girl feel more loved and cherished, and I know she made me feel the same. So, moral of the story, if someone doesn't value the beautiful body you're in, they are not the person for you. You don't have to be ashamed of anything when you're with the right person. I've never felt more attractive than when I'm with Jane, because I know she loves me regardless, and I hope she feels the same about being with me. I wish nothing but the best for all of you. Thank you again. Also, special shout out to the Read It on Wikipedia podcast. I think that's what Jane said it was called. Apparently, it's some dudes who read Reddit stories, and they covered my original post. Jane said they were super nice about the situation and made her even more comfortable with it all. Thanks for being great wingmen, boys. Now for a few comments. Carter Cage said, I loved how you talked about her in the first post, so glad things got even better. Good luck to both of you. Sounds like you are a match made in heaven. Am I the idiot for buying my son a beard trimmer and ignoring my wife's nostalgia trip? I'll try to keep it short. My wife and I have 3 boys, 17, 16, and 14. May the Lord have mercy on my soul. Actually, they are good guys. I was at Target with my youngest, Tanner. We split for a while and he shows back up asking if he could buy something with his own money. It was a beard trimmer. I laughed and told him he didn't need that yet. He explained, nope, not for his face. He wanted it for downstairs. His older brothers both manscape and he wanted to as well, but they wouldn't loan their trimmers. I told him sure, I'd even buy it for him. Got home, and wife was not impressed. She didn't want him to have it. One excuse after the other, he's not old enough. Sure he is. He didn't need it yet. Okay, true, he's not exactly taming a jungle, more like a small hedge, but if he wants to neaten things up, that's fine by me. I don't want more hair all over their bathroom. Non-issue. The boys keep their bathroom clean. While me, Tanner, and the oldest Liam are pretty smooth, middle boy Lucas somehow got the gorilla gene. He was Sasquatch at 14. If he's not causing a problem, no one will. I told him he could keep the trimmer, but wife seems pursed. I did remind him to keep the bathroom free of little hairs. Get brothers to help advise if needed, or me. And don't make the mistake of going all Kojak below the belt. Liam made that mistake a couple of years ago, with much itching. So am I the jerk for disregarding my wife's opinion. Now for a few comments. One commenter said, NTA, your son wants to do it, and it's harmless. It's just hair. It would be nice if your wife would come clean with the actual reason she's opposed. Does she regularly inspect that area and wants it looking natural? If not, all of her stated reasons are specious. Then the original poster replied, No inspections. The boys aren't particularly shy at all, actually, but it's not like she sees them naked all that often. I think it's just because he's the baby of the bunch, doesn't want him to grow up, or even feel older herself. Another commenter added, I think you are right. I'm a mom of 3, and it's bittersweet when the youngest takes the next step, not the idiot. Another person shared, NTA. I was 11 euro and was shaving downstairs without guidance. I was in early puberty, and the hairs were embarrassing. I made mistakes along the way, with no one to ask for assistance. Thank you for supporting your child. The original poster responded, Thank you. I know his brothers will help. If not, he knows he can ask me. Another commenter said, That sounds super nice that y'all stick together and share info on this without making it a taboo. Well done. The original poster replied, Yeah, they wouldn't be afraid to get up close and personal with each other about it. I'm sure there would be plenty of joking around and insults, though. Now for the one-day update. Thanks, everyone. I'm overwhelmed by all the comments. I only expected a few views responses. I appreciate all who commented. I read them all, even if I could not reply back to each. All's good here. Last night I talked with my wife, as many theorized she is just wistful that the last baby bird is growing up, although all are still in the nest. She knows none of them will be little boys forever, but she was, and is, such a good boy mom that she's missing those times already, and had a not-so-great reaction. That's all there is to it, thankfully. As for Tanner, I went up to the oldest room where all 3 were hanging out. You never know where the posse of hooligans will be. Tanner said, Check it out, stood up, and dropped his shorts in a flash. And yep, the hedge clippers had been at work. I told him, Great job, looks good. He said Liam had to do most of it. Liam shrugged. I'm very blessed that they all get along so well, and that the older 2 are excellent big brothers, most of the time. To a couple of people who messaged me, no, none of us are nudists or anything like that, lol, but they are definitely those never-wear-shirts guys, and when getting ready to go out, you never know which one or ones will be in the shower. The guys are just self-assured, maybe too much, and not a shy bone in their bodies. Years ago, twice my oldest, who had long hair then, went as Tarzan for Halloween. And my middle boy once went to a neighborhood costume contest as Michael Phelps in nothing but a Speedo and 8 gold medals around his neck, and this was years after Phelps won. They keep me young and make me very tired at the same time. Thanks, everyone. Now for a few more comments. One commenter said, Really late reply here, but as an older brother who's single, Dad was really religious and refused to have talks with us. Thanks for being so cool and encouraging. I know it means the world to them. I had to step up and be the dad for my brothers, and this included being a 10-year-old trying to teach about keeping your foreskin clean, and at 16, the only one my brother could trust when we had to go to the hospital after an intimacy experiment gone wrong. It was really, really hard having to navigate trying to steer my brothers on having a healthy relationship to their bodies and intimacy when I was still going through shoot myself. Having a dad like you would have helped a lot, and I'm glad people like you exist. The original poster replied, Thanks, you were a great brother. Another commenter added, You are a great dad, and if I could be half the dad you are to my stepson, I'll be happy. The original poster responded, I appreciate that so much. I sure you can and will be. You gotta just try. Some guys, it seems, don't even try to be good dads. Am I the idiot for accusing my husband of stealing my period panties, only to find out my sister pulled a prank? I have period panties. I usually use when I'm nearing the end of my cycle, and am not sure if it'll last another day or not. So these panties are stained, bleached, have 50 holes in them, and stretched out in certain places and too big in others. Truly, the most granniest out of all the granny panties. And they also happen to be fall-themed. Many years ago, I got them from a shop in my hometown. I keep them in my loose sock drawer rather than my panty drawer, so I don't see them unless I look for them. When I went to get them yesterday, I saw they were replaced. The same exact panty, but new ones, and in a slightly different spot, and folded like they were fresh out a pack rather than how I fold it. The shop that I got them from was festive and does seasonal stuff, so I assumed my husband tried to do something nice for me, so I asked him if he bought them. He immediately and seriously denied it. He told me he wouldn't touch them because he knows what I use them for. I started to go a little crazy because if he didn't do it, who touched my panties? I haven't had anyone in my house in the past week other than my mother-in-law, but I still asked a few people if they had anything to do with it. I went to bed arguing with my husband, trying to get him to admit he did it, but he still vehemently denies it. My mom, mother-in-law, and husband think I'm stretching this situation, and it's just some panties, and maybe I bought them, and then forgot. I know I'm not crazy, but I cannot figure out who would replace my period panties. I'm wondering if I should just let this go, or if I should keep grilling people about this. Now for a few comments. Certain Turn 2087 said, I am going to need you to update this story as the investigation unfolds, and/or mystery is solved. It lives rent-free in my head now, and I will not rest until we know who the panty thief is. Jeepers Creepers 74 offered several potential scenarios, including a mistress or female relative borrowing and replacing the panties, someone in the household wearing them, a dog eating them, a used panty thief, blackout shopping, nighttime incontinence, a coma, or aliens. Lunch Planner added, missed the classic Reddit carbon monoxide explanation. Works for any occasion. While affected by CO, ordered the new ones online, and another day when they arrived, replaced the old with the new, and don't remember either of these events. Now for the update 4 hours later. This is slightly embarrassing and super anticlimactic. So it was my younger sister who did it on Devil's Night to prank me. I'm not sure what sparked this idea, seeing as I can't remember a single time she did Devil's Night before. I live 20 to 30 minutes driving from my hometown, so my sister, who's 17, wanted a job that pays good, so I set her up with one near where I live. And she gets off late at night, so I gave her a spare key to my house just in case of emergencies, which she has never used once, so I literally forgot about it. She only confessed because I had a screaming match with my husband over the panties, then drove to my mom's house to cool off. I was venting to my mom, who still told me I was exaggerating. Then my sister walked in the room and told me it was her because she knew about my attachment to the panties, since I even took them with me when we went on vacation. She did in fact throw them out, which I was mad about, because if she thought I was attached to them, why would she throw them out? Now I'm going to be forced to go home and apologize to my husband with my tail between my legs. Pray for me. I apologized to my husband and explained I was just angry because I felt like he either messed with my stuff and was lying to my face, or someone else did it and he was just being nonchalant about it instead of concerned my privacy was invaded. Then I told him it was my sister. He laughed it off and offered to bring me panty shopping tomorrow. This morning, I woke up to him making me breakfast, as he always does when he is off because he's a teacher. I'm sure to a lot of your disappointment, he isn't leaving me or kicking me out of the house or cheating on me. Also, I had another talk with my sister, and I'm still gonna let her keep the key. She seemed very apologetic. I really don't think she'd do anything like this again. Now for a few more comments. It's Fizzy1 said, "This is one of the oddest things I've read. Good luck, girl." To which the original poster replied, "I'm still in disbelief. I shouldn't even feel as embarrassed as I do, but at least I know I'm not the one that's crazy." It's Fizzy1 also added, "Don't feel embarrassed, but me personally, I would have witch-slapped my sister if she did that to me, and I would do a nasty April Fool's prank on her to get back at her." Maria Jane 833 commented, "Sister overstepped and should apologize even if it was a joke. She threw away something that was yours, went through your belongings, and used a key meant for emergencies only. I'd set some boundaries there." The original poster replied, "I was going to take her key, but my mom reasoned with me that there might actually be an emergency someday, so I'll give her 3 strikes before I go nuclear."